Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes.
Welcome everyone to the Aftermath show. No, Jamie is not here. He is just getting his bar ready to go for another day, as it's only just opened. So make sure you get your views and comments in. As you can see there, if I can put it in the right way, make sure to follow us on all socials. We are live from my kitchen today because there's a lot of people in the house and I've found the best place to do it. So get your views and get your comments in. Is it going to be a relegation party today, or is it going to be a magical win versus Liverpool? Get your views in, get your comments in, and we'll get straight into it.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Yes, guys, this is either the relegation party or the magical win versus Liverpool. I'll get a few comments in now. Morning, Chris. This is weird. Well, I'm doing it on my phone, so please bear with me as well. Andy, morning. How we doing? Who else we got? Nick says, morning, Reedy. Happy relegation day. Nice. There we go. Let's very quickly get a few more comments in and we'll get started. Mark says, good morning. Think Wolves will beat Man United and so will be relegation before we kick a ball. Yes, that's what it looks like. Obviously, United did get that massive win the other day against Lyon. So you never know. You never know. Scooby Bass says we're staying up. If you want to believe that, mate, you can do. Jane says, morning, Reedy. Relegation for us, championship for champions for Liverpool. Yep, I think that could happen as well today. Yeah, if Arsenal drop points, it's disgusting. This time last year we were champions. Yes, it was. Yeah. But yeah, get your views and get your comments in. I will put the link in the chat if anybody wants to join. If I can send it, I don't know if I can because my phone's bugging out. Let me have a look. I don't think I can. Okay, not that then. We're not doing that. We can all see your hands. All we can see is your hands. Yes, I know. Unfortunately. Let's do this. There we go. That's better. Morning, really hoping for a miracle, but they may be but think we might be relegation. Yeah. Morning, really says Chapsters. Next stage of the decline starts today. It does. So yeah, what's your point? What's your thoughts on today's game? Because like we've all kind of mentioned already, that we can either be relegated today or we can delay the inevitable, because we are going to be relegated. But will it be today? I said on, I think, the Foxes Focus on Thursday that I really don't know if we will be relegated today. I think it will just delay it by us getting a good win or a good point. I know it's a hard point because it is Liverpool, but I don't think it's going to happen today for some reason. I think Arsenal will pick up 3 points. It means that Liverpool can't be champions. And then after the performance against Brighton, I actually do think we're going to have a chance in getting a result today. And again, that's just me being very, very hopeful because of one decent performance. But I don't know. I just feel like that's going to be the case today. Happy Easter from down under. Yes, welcome, mate. By the way, I am at work. Yeah, Jamie's at work in the in the bar. What a bloody joke the banner is. How do you mean? Wolves only need a point. Will we be sacked today? I think it'll be sacked tomorrow if we lose today. And we get relegated. Hopefully today and not the Forest. Yeah. Morning all, says Dawn. Sorry, this is awful. Well, actually, like, play like actually care will be nice. Yeah, rather not prolong these things and get done and dusted. Yeah. Rob says, what would you say is the biggest factor of us going down? The ball, the management, the players. It's difficult because I don't think it's just down to Rudkin. I just don't think it's down to Rude. I think this is a collectible of loads of different things that's gone on this year that's made it in a position where we are relegated. I don't know. I really don't know because again, I'm not going to be saying Rudkin out to try and solve that problem because again, if you look at the last 10 years, he's done more good stuff than bad. We've won the FA Cup, we've won the Premier League, quarter-final of the semi-final. No, yeah, quarter-final of the Champions League, semi-final of the European Cup. There's no doubt about it that it's not just down to Rudkin. Don't get me wrong. Recently, the players he's brought in obviously not worked out. But then we spoke to Rob Tanner a few months ago now, probably before we got our first win again with Rude. But he was saying that a lot of managers now in Leicester has a big say in what signings they make. So, for instance, the likes of Skip, El Canus again. I'll give credit to Cooper on that and say that he did bring El Canus in, and I do think he's going to be a really good player in the next couple of years. Not to say that he is good now, but I honestly think he will be. Dawn says, Tony says, down we go banner, best part of the day. Yeah. Ian the Super Fox says, happy Easter relegation party. Yeah. Lumen says, big up. Mark Gatwa says, Rudkin is a start. We need a strong figure to make the hard decisions for the good of the club, rather him in his own pocket. Again, I know people blame Rudkin for a lot of stuff, and he is a big factor of it. But for me, when it comes to Rude, I think he's trying to get the best out of the players. And a lot of fans have said in the last couple of weeks that the players just don't even look like they're bothered. And that's why I feel like he changed the team up against Brighton. He didn't have the likes of Faze in there. He didn't have the likes of Christiansen in there. He didn't want the likes of Bobby Reid and AU. He wanted a team that looked a bit more of a threat up front. And that, for me, Mabadidi and McAteer, as much as I don't rate McAteer as highly, I think he's a big reason why we had a good performance against Brighton, because we went for it and we didn't try and be a bit more passive and more possession based, which again, it's still possession based, but not anywhere near. We need to clear the dead wood out. So Andy, tell me now, what dead wood are you on about? Because I feel like we got a lot of the dead wood out last year when we came back up. Obviously, you had the likes of Dennis Pratt, which again, I'm not saying he's dead wood, but in the position we were in last year, we had a lot of players that weren't seeing the first team. And for me, now we've got basically a first team with a few extra players here and there. Yes, you've still got the likes of Bobby Reid and AU, probably going to be staying this year, going into the Championship. But I don't think there's many bad eggs. Like, you've got to think, if someone says Vestergaard, he was probably one of the best defenders in the league last year. There's many teams, there's many players in our club now, which is not good enough for the Premier League or isn't bothered about being in the Premier League now, which is odd to say, but going into the Championship, near enough every single player in our team should be way too good for the Championship, in my opinion. Let's have a look. Mark Lyon says that not even that sad. Did my anger, sadness, etc. weeks ago. Wanted to season to end. Yep. Hopefully, he puts the same team out. Again, I would say the same team, but a few changes. And for me, like I say, this is a Liverpool preview in a way, and saying that the team that we put out against Brighton, I think it was decent, but I think it could be better in the way of we played with James Justin in the kind of the inverted fullback role, which again with Ricardo Pereira on the bench, I don't really understand why we did that. I really don't. He should have been in that team in that role, but again, he's just coming back from injury. Yes, it's been 3 games now, but maybe they're managing his minutes. I don't know, but for me, Pereira comes back into this game because it's a big game, not for us, but for them. And well, it could be for us and it could be for them, but you know what I mean. But Ricardo Pereira needs to be in the games that we need to make sure we don't lose. And I know whatever the score is today, it doesn't really matter. But it is what it is. Let's have a look. Give Evans a game and Mavididi and McAteer on the wings. Yeah, I could probably see that, Andy. I do honestly think Vardy's probably going to be the man up front today because it is Liverpool. Again, no matter who we're playing in the way of the position we're in, we're down anyway. So we've just got to get a good performance in and a few good performances in before the end of the season, because if Rude is the one staying in the club to manage us next year, you've got to get a bit of momentum going into that next year instead of it being a loss after a loss. But it is what it is, isn't it? Let's get a few more comments in. Mark says, line in the sands time. Line in the sand time. We need to recruit better. Better and ensure players have hunger and desire to get back to the top flight. If players aren't on board with it, that's it. Let them go. Yeah, I agree. Neil Birchnell says, I see Ben Nelson being one of the centre halves next season, and we need to offload Faze. He does not seem committed and makes too many crucial mistakes and blaming others. Yeah, I probably see that, and that's why I said earlier that maybe Rude took him out. Yes, he was injured, I think, but I wouldn't see him straight back in the team. I think Okoli, as much as people are saying he had an awful first half against Brighton, Okoli needed to be in that team. The difference between him, Vestergaard, and even Faze is he's got the pace. He's got the pace. He's got the passion. You could see it when he scored the goal. He's got the passion to be committed to the club. So for me, Okoli's straight in there today as well. Do you think that skip was a poor signing? Says Andy. Yes, for the money we paid, very much so. But do I think Skip was a bad signing? Yes. Mark says, if Rude goes, who do we get? I have no idea, to be honest. There's many managers in the Championship that could come in. I don't think anyone's going to be worth coming in, depending on what we've got. That's why I do feel like Rude should stay. Like, people are going to be going mental at me. I think people are going to say that I'm stupid for putting Rude in. But I really do feel that Rude should stay and see how he does in the Championship, in my opinion. Jono is joining us from Newcastle.
Good morning.
Mate? How are we doing?
Just waiting for Wolves to get that single point. 1-0 in the coffin. West Ham have got their point, so it's just Wolves to go, and then, well, technically we're not officially relegated because we get the same amount of points as them. We just need a bigger goal difference, but we need to score 30 goals to get that. So yeah, I think we're officially relegated if Wolves get a single point.
Yeah, I was just saying on the show as well that why do I keep putting like thoughts in my head of like, if we can go and beat Liverpool, if we have a magical win versus, that's why I put it in the title. If we have a magical win against Liverpool, Wolves drop points to Man United, and they get Man
There's
United.
5 games. Wolves and West Ham can't get a point. 5 games. We have to.
Yeah. I'm not. I know we're relegated. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying.
Let's not bring it up then.
No, because it feels like we got a point against Brighton. If you take that performance into the Liverpool game, yes, it's going to be a very tough game. But you can't see these games now. Now we're kind of in a point of we are relegated. If you look at these games thinking, oh, it's another game, don't matter what happens. For me, I'm going to the game today. I want to see a good performance. And if we get a win, that confidence in it, even if if Wolves lose, there's like you still got that little bit of hope that you want to go
It's
to the games. You know what I mean? There's no point having no hope and going, oh, it's game over anyway. I know it's game over, but
it's like a relationship, and you've messaged this girl for ages. All of a sudden, she's not responding to you. You've messaged her every day, hoping for a reply, and then we're just waiting for that person to block you. It's that's you're hoping for one reply, and then no, it's. I know what you mean. Like, we are relegated, but when they announce it, that's when we know we're officially
yes.
relegated. It's
There's no
hard,
point,
but
in my opinion, there's no point going into a game as much as we know it's happening. I'm not going to the Liverpool game thinking how many we're going to get battered by. I want to see a good performance. I want to see hopefully get a better result than we normally what them are thinking of. And
I
if
want
we
them to
do
regain
get
their honour. It's regaining their honour
yes,
because for me, it's been poor season. But can you go down to the Championship with your heads held high? That's what I want to see.
yes,
I don't.
yeah, exactly,
I don't want to. Even if we lose 2-0 to Liverpool, if we put in every effort to every tackle, every loose ball, every counter attack, put all your effort in. That's all I want to see.
exactly. Andy down in here says Rude will be sacked after the Liverpool game. I think if we does lose and we are, say, like you said, we can't be officially relegated, but other than the goal difference. But I I think if he loses it and I think Wolves win, I do think he'll be gone by Monday. If I'm totally honest. Again, in my opinion, I don't think you should go. I think stick with him
Now,
for
I
the
think I
first 10
think
games and just see how it goes. But if he gets gone, if he gets sacked, then fair enough. But for me, if you do that, you've got to pick the right manager because if you pick a Sean Dyche or someone who isn't the play style that Top's looking for. Because as you noticed, that Enzo was that sort of style he wanted. It was a bit of an anomaly that he went for Cooper, but that was mainly I think that was mainly for it to try and stay up with. Didn't work, in my opinion. Again, a lot of fans would say that we regret sacking him now, but then we went to Rude, which I will admit, half the time this season when we've had Rude, we've not looked bad. We've just not got the wins. Man City, Aston Villa. I know the likes of Wolves and Everton, Wolves at home, Everton away, Fulham at home, Palace at home. All of them were awful. But we have seen glimmers of hope with Rude's style of play when it comes to certain games. And again, I know no games 40-minute games or they have to be a 90-minute game. But for me, I don't know. I don't know why I'm still backing Rude. Like people have said
no,
to
he's
me,
gone.
you
He's
got
gone.
rid of Cooper when you wanted to. Why are you not wanting him gone now? But I
Get
don't know.
rid
I
of
just feel like
Rude.
there's no point.
There is a point because Rude has lost the players. We're going to keep a lot of those players because we put them on ridiculously long contracts. They don't want to play for him. Get rid of him at end of the season and give him a whole pre-season and a whole transfer window. He need a new manager to take us through the Championship that the players can get behind. Like Lee Carsley, I think is the perfect man for this job.
Yeah, fair enough. Let me look at
Jamie,
next thingy. Sorry.
should have Jamie in. He's been waiting patiently in the back.
Oh, is he here? Sorry, I didn't
He
see
is
him
here.
pop in. There we go. I'll add him in.
How are you, lads? How are you?
Really talking delusion again, Jamie.
Hey, I've just been saying that there's no point going into any game now if we know we're relegated and have no like thought of what if we beat Liverpool and what if Wolves lose?
Yeah,
It's like there's something there still to us to run against, but I know it's not going to happen.
the problem is today I've got very low expectations today. Very low
I think
expectations.
everyone has.
Unfortunately. All I want to see is a bit of fight, a bit of passion, a bit of spirit. If we go down fighting, that will do me. That will do me. A bit of, like I say, fight and passion. But what I really want to say, I don't know whether you've spoke about it yet, Reed, is this bloody banner. I think it's absolutely a waste of space. I really do. This banner on the back of a plane saying, what's that going to achieve? Honestly,
Hang on,
what will that
is that
achieve?
true? Is that going to happen?
That's true. Have you seen the photos? It's ready out the side of the back of a plane. Adios.
What's it saying?
Rudderless and I think something rude out or something like that. I'm not going to say where it is because he's actually stopped the comments on Twitter because that many people are moaning and groaning about it. It's actually a waste of space. It really is. What's it going to achieve? What
Well,
will it actually achieve?
When that first protest went on against Arsenal, and again, it wasn't even a protest because there was only
No, it
a couple of
wasn't.
hundred doing it, but I think at that point it was fair enough to do something like that. But now we've got to the point now where it's basically a pointless protest.
It is. It's,
Like,
to
we're
do it
down
now,
now,
it's
so
absolutely pointless. To do it any time, it's absolutely pointless. It's just people jumping on the bandwagon, trying to get themselves on TV. It won't work because most people will be on the look. Liverpool will win the league today if the results go the right way, and they'll all be on Sky, and their Liverpool fans will drown out anything that happens, and Sky won't even show it. We're very surprised if Sky show it. I just can't see the point, and it's just absolutely waste of space. It really is. I don't understand it. I really
mean,
don't understand why.
Earlier in
Yep.
the season, we had the right to be annoyed because he wasn't doing anything to to change the team. He wasn't bringing in youngsters. He wasn't trying to change the tactics. That was fair enough. But now it's the time to say, right, we know the club's messed up. Let's get behind the team, ready for the new season, because we've got 4 games left to prepare ourselves. This is our pre-season starts today. I think this is our first pre-season game, and
it
it
depends
is.
though. Is it? Is it though? Because
Oh,
is it under
shut up!
Rude?
It's under Rude.
Because if
Has
it
been
is
under Rude.
if it is pre-season now, then it's going to be under Rude. Because
Well, I don't. If he's here next year, we'll just go straight back down. We'll go down again. Actually,
Yeah,
it's all.
yeah.
It's
He has to
boring.
go.
We're going to
no,
go straight
no.
back up with Rude,
No, we're
mate.
not.
We won't go
It has-
straight back up. We'll not go, the confidence is as low as a snake's belly. We will not go straight back up. Everyone seems to think exactly is going to happen as what happened last year. We won't go back up. We really won't.
You
But
never
If
know.
Rude's still in charge and the board, if Rookin is still in, then we'll go either Platter. It will be the new Stoke, Middlesbrough,
right,
Blackburn.
that was it. I've got to go. Just a
Go
quick
on,
visit about
go
that
do
banner.
some
That's all I
work.
wanted to say. I just wanted to say that. That was all. It's utterly pointless, that banner is. But cheers, lads. We'll see you
Go
later.
on,
Cheers,
go do
Reader.
some work. Go on,
I'm
go do
going
some
to.
work.
Yeah.
Dave Taylor says you can get 14-1 on Leicester winning. You never know, mate. It's probably worth a fiver just to see if it comes in. Anne Hardy says, unfortunately, I agree with Jamie. Yep. John Glover says rooking out. Dean says hope not. And also says need to stop giving players such long contracts, buying rubbish who doesn't need it. It's such a hard decision at the moment because it's like I don't think it's all down to blame on Rudkin. I don't think it's all down to blame on Rude, but I think the collective of so many different errors from everyone has really put us in a position now where, like we said a few years ago when we were trying to get into Europe, I think that was the main issue because then we went for it to try and stay up, not stay up, but to try and bolster and stay in the top 4, and it completely backfired and we got relegated for it. So I think that's what started the whole issues with the money side and not being able to buy players and losing money left, right, and centre. So, Jono, before we do go, I'm not asking you for a score prediction because I'm guessing we all think it's going to be a loss. But what's your team lineup going to be going into this game? Because the Brighton one game did change. It looked like we played a bit more Enzo style from what we've seen last year with the 2 wingers and the Elkanus in the midfield. But what are you looking for? Are you putting any players back in the team or are you keeping it the same?
Let me just have a look back at the previous game to see what we went with. Brighton lineups. Right, so I'm gonna go with Hermanson. I'm gonna go with Okoli and probably Okoli. I'll go with Okoli and Cody at the back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Luke Thomas on the left, Justin on the right because I think Christensen is poor. I'd like to see Sumare, probably Ricardo Pereira in the midfield. Mavididi and McAteer on the wings has to be. I can't stand if Ayew or
Would you not consider putting Monger in over McAteer?
no, because I think McAteer is going to be significant in the championship. I think he needs to put a statement down to the club saying I think he should stay and he should be a main feature bring Monger on in the second half, like after 60 minutes.
Yeah.
El Canus and Vardy, I think, I don't want Daka to stay at the club. I don't want him to have any more minutes. As long as Reed and Ayew don't play, as long as Skip doesn't play, I'm happy. And I'm just gutted how the fact that Winks has now not been going to be even a feature in the club anymore.
Yeah. Nick Moore says, really give your head a wobble. 1 second, let me just get rid of this because it seems
I mean, I want to treat this club like a sieve. You want to just shake off all the excess crap that we don't want at this club, and that's half the players, that's half the staff, the manager, and start and reset for me. Start a new Leicester City when we get relegated. We need a new. I've been saying this. I love Jamie Vardy, but it's time for him to go. Not as in like getting rid of him, but like don't sign and you go give him a new year contract. Let him
Do you
go on a
know
free. Let him
what?
go to Saudi.
Do
Let
you
him go
know?
to America.
Do you know? Before we go, I will say that one last question, and I'm gonna give this to everyone in the chat as well. Put a yes or no for either or, because for me, if we did stay up, as in I know we're not, but if we were to stay up going into Premier League next season, I wouldn't have gave him the contract. But because we're going down and we are in the Championship, I think you give him that one last year to try and bring us back up to where the promised land is. And that's just me because I don't trust the likes of Daka or whoever else we bring in the Championship to score 10, 15 plus goals next year. Whereas we've seen it last year, Vardy did that. For
I
me, you give him that one last year to get us back. He probably should have left when we got promoted last year. But with how this season's gone, I don't think he'll want to leave, or I don't want him to leave on a bad note like it was this year. So for
I
me,
want.
give him that one last year.
I don't want him to stay. And as Nick said, in the coaching team, as sort of what Andy King's kind of done, is he's a former Leicester player, put himself in the in the ranks of like assistant coach or anything like that. The reason why I don't want him in the team is because as long as Jamie Vardy's in that lineup, no matter who comes to our club as a number 9, will not be a main feature. And if we do come straight back up, we want a player to have been playing in the team for over a year, getting used to the club, getting used to the players, and be cementing himself. It took us so long to even have a decent enough player to replace Mahrez, to replace N'Golo Kante. I know we're not going to get any players like that good again, but you know what I mean? Like we didn't find that cemented player in the
I
team.
get it, but do
And
you see
we
what I'm
need that
saying?
player.
Do you see what I'm saying about? Because again, if you're in the Championship and you bring in a player to replace Vardy, and we don't have Vardy, then when you go back up to the Premier League, you won't have that sort of prolific striker in the Premier League. You need that person to score the goals in the Championship, and then when you get back to the promised land, if we do in next year, again, it might not happen, but to try everything we can to try and get us back up straight away, to have Vardy in that team, and then if we did get to the Premier League the year after, then that's where you do recruit a new
Well,
striker for the rest of the Premier League.
let me say this then. If we can't find, I don't want to buy any silly old player.
Yes.
I don't want to buy, if we find a proper decent striker that's proven in the Championship or the Premier League, we know can score 20 or 15 goals guaranteed, then yes. If we're just signing anyone for the sake of it, then I'll stick with Vardy. But my main vote's towards Vardy leaving. But I'll leave it there because I've got to go and have breakfast. But cheers for having me, Reedy.
No, all good. I'll see you on Thursday for the Foxes Focus.
No, because I will be occupied.
Oh no, yes, sorry, I'll be there then. I'll be the one taking that role probably.
I'll
So
be changing nappies at that point.
bet it's probably more exciting than doing this, mate. All good.
Well, it's still cleaning up crap. That's what it is.
Okay.
See you later,
All
guys.
good. See you in a bit. And there we go, guys. I did see a lot of your comments saying you would take Vardy in the Championship. I would agree. I think when we are in the Championship, you'd have that prolific striker who you've seen him do it last year, do it again, and then leave on a good note when you're back in the Premier League. If we are, obviously. Thanks for your comments and views. I'll get a few last comments on. Need a total reset without Vardy. I do agree with that. Jane says Vardy in the Championship. George Hurst from Ipswich. I think we let him go, didn't we? So I don't think we can have him back. Get rid of Vesterflop. I don't think that'll be the case because he's still on a 2-year contract. No, 150k off the books, and then you find a young striker. Again, you could use Jake Evans next year, but I think it's a big risk. I think it is a big risk. Appreciate you all coming on, guys, and we'll catch you all on Monday, tomorrow, for Phil's show, because he'll be doing the post-match for the Liverpool game. So thank you for all your comments, as always. We'll catch you on the next show, so get tuned in for Phil tomorrow, and we'll catch you all later. See you in a bit, guys.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views.